Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Slightly Warped Podcast. I'm Rick, joined as always by Big Show. What up, Show?
What up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Missed you. It's been a couple weeks since I talked to you
Yeah,
live.
yeah, we took some time off, taking care of things. You know, gotta take care of the things at home in order for there to keep everything going smoothly.
Right.
Yeah. Um, I'm back in the swing of things. I think this weather is not where I want it to be, but
I don't mind it. It's just I wasn't ready for it.
I don't think you're ever ready for it because I want it to be 72 and sunny year round.
That would be awesome. But move from the central of the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't
So,
mind. I actually like long sleeve hoodie weather. Just not this early. I was my grandson. He has plays flag football, and he had a game last Friday and last Saturday, and
ooh,
I
them
told him
games get cold, don't they?
I told him Saturday after the second. I was like, man, you know how much Grandpa loves you because I don't sit out here in the cold for nobody,
Oh, yeah. Um, I rem-
especially when y'all suck. But I didn't say
wow.
that.
He didn't mean that. He didn't
I'm
mean,
a real grandpa. I'm real. I keep it real.
yeah, he ain't about them participation or trophies.
Heck no.
One of these days, we're going to have a podcast on that because I hate that stuff.
Me too.
Today's topic, though, is the lost art of conversation. Now, what I mean by that, Show, we're in a technological society. Things are different than when we were growing up. Things are different than when our parents were growing up. And I'm blaming a lot of what I'm going to talk about on this technology because we don't talk the way we used to talk to friends and family, and I'm not blaming it on phones per se as I am cell phones. Remember back in the day when you called somebody, you actually had a conversation with them, and it could be about anything and everything. Now you just shoot them a text. You don't call somebody to wish them a happy birthday. You just send them a birthday picture. You know, and I think we're getting too far away from the warmth of, you know, being in the presence of each other's company, either physically or emotionally. Um, Instead of going to visit grandpa, you get on the old iPad and you what do they call it? FaceTime each other.
Hmm.
I get it. Some people are thousands of miles away. I get it. But when grandpa in the same city, get in the car and go over and visit him. And I'm big on that because I think, well, I don't think I know our time on this earth is limited and we should maximize what we have because you don't know when it's all going to be over. And the other
Agree.
thing, and I know technology is supposed to make things easier, but I think it makes us lazier. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
True.
You make it sound like it's a test.
I mean,
You're wrong.
uh, thanks for tuning in, folks. See you next week. Um, yeah. Um, I think it's not just the cell phones. It's it's the generation. Um, like our kids, all they know is cell phones. You
Yeah.
know, they, all they know is the internet. All they know is this Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, which now is X, and Instagram and all that BS. That's all they know, and everything is an instant gratification. That's what, I send a text, you respond right back, that's instant. I'm seeing it, and they don't grasp, like you said, the art of the warmth of a conversation. I
Yeah.
think actually talking on the phone, unless you're, for instance, like our homeboy Kaz, who's in New York
Mhm.
or New Jersey, that you know those phone calls have, uh, you feel the hearth and warmth through it. But
Yeah.
like if I got a friend that lives down the street, I'd rather just go see him instead of calling him on the phone and have a conversation.
I like that. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I just, because to me a phone call is kind of cold in itself. If you are within physical range of each other.
Now, before you continue, let me let everybody know. First things and foremost, I want y'all to chime in on this. So, whatever platform you're listening or watching on, they've all got a means of communicating with us. For example, YouTube, get in the comments, let us know what you guys think about this topic as well. And make no mistake about it, I'm not against technology. I'm not the grumpy old man that hates computers. That's not it. As a matter of fact, I was enjoying uh we have a three-way conversation, you, me, and Kev,
Mm-hmm.
and the meme battle
Oh
the
yeah.
other day. That was funny. I like those.
Yeah, that's different, because it's just a quick, we're gonna make each other laugh. And in those texts, we just basically send little one-liners at one another. That's different.
Yeah.
We're not actually trying to have a conversation, you know. The other thing is people don't know how to communicate. The
Mm,
the
you hit
the
that
art
nail on the head.
the art of communication is lost. God gave us two ears and one mouth for a reason. Most of the conversations, you should listen more before you speak. But everybody wants to speak to be heard, not to understand, unfortunately. And that goes with husbands and wives, parents and children, uh, friends.
Yeah. And at its core, there's only two things to the art of conversation: talking and listening. And you're right, it is a balance, and you've got to get it right. And I know a whole lot of people that talk a lot, and sometimes you wonder if they just want to hear themselves talk.
And I'll go one above you. It's not just about talking and listening. I mean, you must comprehend and try to understand what the other person is saying.
I
Otherwise,
would put that in the listening category, because you're not just hearing, you're listening.
okay. I mean, yeah, I can see that if we're breaking it down. Yeah, I could definitely see that. But most people don't hear. I'll say it that way. Most people don't uh hear, or most people don't listen. They just hear.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. 9 times out of 10, those are the ones that enjoy the talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like my whole thing is when I'm having a conversation with somebody, and it's a very, whatever we're talking about, I'm not trying to force my ideas or my opinions or my beliefs on whatever we're conversing about. And it is okay for us to disagree. I'm not asking that I have to keep debating until you go, oh, you know what? You are right. I'm not looking for that in a conversation. It's just, this is my side. This is okay. Well, I don't agree with that, but hey, this is my take on it, blah, 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 type of thing. Most people just, they want you to just talk and talk until somebody goes, okay, you're right. And that, those never get anywhere either. Those conversations,
Yeah.
conversations.
There should be differences. Chief suck. And we embrace those differences.
Hey,
If y'all didn't catch what I did, you don't watch enough of this show. You need to watch it more.
you know, Forrest Gump, I understand how you feel.
Jenny,
It
Jenny.
is what it is. Not everybody can be a fan of a winning team.
Oh, oh, right in the gut. Right in the gut. So listen, man. Um,
Cheap suck.
I'm sorry.
That's why you just hold on. Ding! You've just been granted 10 more years of your coach.
We are one win away from making that happen. Don't do that to me, bro.
Oh, that's happening this week because y'all beating the Bears.
I hope we don't. I hope they just trounce us. Send him
Yeah,
out the
now
door now. Let the interim take over for the rest of the year. I don't care. Dude
I
doesn't
heard
make
that
good decisions.
I heard that Fields is out.
I need to put
But I
my.
digress. We're not there yet.
But isn't Garoppolo out too, though?
You know, he might be.
See, it's a level playing field again. Take
He
that.
might be. I don't know.
Brian Hoyer's not going to win us a game.
That's not who played last time, was it? Wasn't it
He finished.
some
Yeah,
third grade school teacher that came in and played
I wish it
that
was. Then
one game?
I could be sure that we would lose the game. Now, for those of you who are, still new to the Slightly Warped podcast, yes, you're hearing it right. I don't want my team to have a winning record because I want my coach to be fired. I'd rather have that school teacher coaching. They could probably create a better offense for us.
Not coach, but he was quarterback. He played in the last game, not play at all. It wasn't Hoyer. It was a different dude.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. The rookie?
Well, yeah, he looked like a third grade school teacher. I mean,
Yeah,
he
I
looked like
forget.
Urkel with a helmet.
I forget his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. He might have came in. I mean, I
No,
think
I
he
mean,
came in.
I'm pretty sure he started the game.
No, Garoppolo started the game.
No, that was that last week. The game that Garoppolo didn't play, that he was inactive on.
Oh, yes, yes, he did.
Yeah, because Garoppolo hurt his back. I think they said he's okay. He's day to day, but
Send him to the bunny ranch. He'll be all right.
but we'll discuss. You said the bunny ranch.
We know what he does with his
That ain't
stress
going
on
to help
Friday.
his back,
Opposite.
right? He's going to be out. He can be put on IR.
Ah, oh.
I digress. Sorry, young viewers.
Hey, yeah, we'll get to football in a few minutes. I want to close out this conversation. The lost art of conversation. Um, Far be it for me to tell anybody what to do, but you know, when it comes to that listening part of the listening and talking thing, hear with your ears and your heart. If you do that, then you are really listening and not just hearing.
And the
And
other thing that oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna
No, go
say,
ahead.
one more thing. There's something to be said about the talking part. Choose what you say and how you say it. If you have a point to
Mm,
get it across. If you have something to say that may be critical, do it in a way that's understanding, and it'll go miles towards helping you get that point across.
great point. Words are powerful,
Mm.
and once spoken, they cannot be unspoken. So that is a perfect, yes, that is a great explanation.
Wisdom of Big
I
Sean.
was I was gonna say something on the same lines, but you know, be truthful in your conversations too. Do not if you're genuinely trying to have a conversation, like you said, choose your words correctly. Have all your words come from a place of love and understanding, no matter what the subject is. But be truthful to yourself. Don't what's the word I'm looking for? Don't downgrade or downplay your feelings towards whatever that subject is just to placate the person you're having a conversation with.
Yeah, don't
It is
sugarcoat it.
okay. It is okay to not agree. It is okay.
Well said. All right. Now it's time for the fun part, kids. We're going to the National Football League.
First, before we go to that though, can I add one topic onto
You sure
to
can.
our show that wasn't on the list?
Yes.
Because I want to give it its credit. We
Oh,
did
thank
not
you.
get to
Oh, that was
fin.
great. Oh, the other
Nah,
thing. The other
I don't care about that. Uh,
thing.
no, I can tell you're great. Look at that beautiful office you're sitting in. Um, we did not get to talk about the ending of Ahsoka and the series because we didn't record last week.
Shame
So
on
I'm
us.
so I
Yes,
want to make
yes.
sure that we discuss that before we jump because we'll get long winded when it comes to the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you give yours first, and then I'll jump into mine, and we'll move to the NFL.
It was bittersweet.
I
I
want
liked it.
I want a grade, a solid grade,
A number grade or letter grade?
letter grade.
B. I mean, I'm not trying to be tough on anything. It would take a lot for anything to be an A, even an A minus, even a B plus. I'll give it a B because it did get the story across, but not quite in the way that I wanted it, and it left me wanting way more than it answered. Which I guess,
Which is a good and bad thing.
yeah, that's why I was bittersweet. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
So
a
I
B.
mean, when Disney Plus or Disney has a hard time with these series, they're not
Yes.
like great, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
I'd say the
I,
only one to come out that would deserve an A would be Obi-Wan in
Obi-Wan
my
was
book.
also a B because it had too much of the Inquisitor and it could have had more
Yeah,
of a
but those that Vader Obi-Wan that built it up at the very end.
yeah,
And to me, that's what put it. That's the only one of the series that I would put in an A. And
I would
it could
agree.
be it'd be A minus, B plus, but it would be, I'd still would be an A. Ahsoka, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give it a solid C,
Mm.
C right across the board. It was I. There were some episodes which were really good that I liked, but there were other episodes which I was just like, this is really boring to me. Why are we even looking at it? Things that didn't really have to go with the story, but they felt like filler. Like that one whole episode. I think I talked about it when we discussed. I was like, that was a complete waste of an episode. You took 45 minutes of my time that I could have been doing something else.
Wow, which episode was that?
I want to say it was like episode 4 or 5, somewhere in that arena where I said it had absolutely nothing to do with the plot. And it didn't. And then the next week they picked it back up and went back to Balin and the little blonde chick, whoever she is.
Hey, the best episode though, still to me, was when she was in the world between worlds.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was great. I mean, that kind of well, I said it wasn't bad, then I said it was great. That's my oxymoron. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was pretty good. But that's kind of what lifted it up out of that to me, that one bad episode and then that one they kind of wash each other out.
Yeah.
I think we needed to see Thrawn sooner than what we actually seen. Um,
I don't
but
like the way they left the Balin thing and his apprentice. It's like, all right, let us at least know what they're up to.
well, they kind of did if you're in the
I kind
storyline.
of got it with her. She
Well,
was going to join those bandits.
even with him, because when he was on that mountain that was statue and it pointed to the distance, that supposedly is an ancient Sith temple.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly that's that tiny steiny star in the background that you seen, and it was pointing to it. That's what he's looking for. Why we don't really know, but that's what we're looking for. Um, but like I said, solid C. I was very, very well. What really kicked it off and just really kind of ruined it for me was the science zombies. I mean, we talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, once that crap happened, I was like, this is just dumb. And you know, I get bringing uh the first wave that they were fighting. The sisters brought them back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see that. I wasn't disappointed in that. I was disappointed in the two or three big ones that fought at the very end. That when they knocked off the helmet, you could see their rotted mouth and stuff. Uh, the one that she hit the
Oh,
lightsaber through the head.
yeah, those are the ones that have been with the newest
Right, but
sister.
they're no, were they? I
Yeah,
thought they
they've been with
were.
her at all times. So they've
Okay, well,
always
I
been
I
undead.
didn't like that. I didn't like that. I just thought that was just dumb. We don't need to rehash Walking Dead. Like I said, Game of Thrones did it. I don't need my Star Wars to dive into that realm. And
Oh
if they
man,
continue, I will turn that completely off. There's a book out there in the old canon
you don't
series.
want Ahsoka to look back and yell, "Carl!"
there is a book in the old canon series. I think it's called like Red Dawn. It's Early Republic, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all about this one school that got hit by this meteor that turned everybody, this Sith school that turned everybody into like these zombies. Dumbest book in Star Wars history. It was just one book.
I never
It
read it.
took everything I could to get through. Well, I mean, I was trying to read them all in order, and I got to that book, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and read this. And yeah, no. Made my eyes bleed. Okay,
Oh
but
wow.
it's just that whole idea. Stick to what fans love, which is the saga itself. But
That's
overall, I mean, it was entertaining. I would recommend if you're Star Wars fans checking it out. But you know, not great, not bad, right down the middle of the road. That dog will hunt, but you're not going to eat well.
all right. Big Show gave his score. I gave my score. What's your score? Leave us a comment. If you're not on YouTube and you want to just leave us an email, the slightly warped podcast at yahoo.com. Hey, we talk on any of those platforms. Hit us up. Now we'll go to the league.
Yes.
And before we get to the AFC West, like I mentioned, I want to talk about three other games in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, these were all upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Texans over the Saints, Jets over the Eagles, and Browns over the 49ers. Would you agree that they're all upsets to a degree?
All but the Houston New Orleans game.
Hmm. You think that was less of an upset?
Yes.
Interesting. So, is New Orleans not as good as advertised, or the Texans are better than advertised?
Yes.
Good answer.
The Saints aren't as good as everybody thinks they are. The Texans aren't as good as everybody thinks they are, and they're definitely not as bad. But if you flipped, I mean, I think the score was what 20-13 or something like that.
Yeah.
That and I believe it was in Houston. You flip it, New Orleans probably wins that game 20-13. That's why I don't think it was an upset. The Philly game, the 49ers game, if those games were in Philly or in Frisco, they wouldn't have lost.
Hmm. I didn't see the Jets Eagles game, but
Oh
I
my
saw
God, it
the
was
end of
good.
the Niners game. Do you think the Niners got robbed?
Which time?
I don't know of another time. I'm talking about. I think there was a specific. Was it a no call that happened?
You talking about like the pass interferences?
Yeah.
Okay, look, this is my theory, because this has been every time the Chiefs get a call or something to go their way, I hear this, I see this on the internet the whole time. So, let's go back to the Super Bowl against the Eagles. The dude got held, you and what did everybody say? You cannot call that late in the game, right? Everybody said that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we played the Jets. Basically the same thing happens. You cannot call that. I'm sorry. Not the Jets. What was the other? We had another one that earlier in this year where they said the same thing, that you can't call that at the in the
It
game.
wasn't the Lions game, was it?
Nah. But then when we got to the Jets, we actually
Mm-hmm.
pass interfered. and it wasn't called. And everybody says, you have to call that play. But their arguments are countering each other.
Yeah.
So it's either you have to call it or you don't call it. You can't have it both ways just because you don't like the team.
Now
I
here's
am
where I
sick and
stand,
tired of
because
the
I'm not a Chiefs fan.
referees.
I'm not a
Hold on.
Chiefs fan,
Hold
but
on just a second.
okay.
Hold on just a second. I'm sick and tired of the referees being involved in the outcome of the game, even with my team.
Mhm.
They're like, did you watch the game last night?
No, I did not.
I thought the referees had like money on how many times they could be on TV. It's like every second or third play was a penalty.
Oh.
And it was frustrating. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I'll be, to
You're
your man,
not?
I'll tell you straight up, I don't believe in the well, it's the end of the game thing. You call it the same way from start to finish, period. And I don't care who wins and who loses. If my team is penalized, so be it. They need to work on that. Um, you can't you can't have it. Oh, he was holding in the end zone, pass interference, whatever. We'll call it in the second quarter, but we're gonna let them play in the fourth. No, pick one. That sets the tone early. That way it goes all the way through. You let somebody hold in the second quarter, they're going to hold in the fourth quarter.
Yes. They're going to hold anyway, whether you call it or not.
And that's the other thing. When it comes to
That's the
holding,
NFL.
technically there's holding on every single play.
Well, the line, there's holding on it every single
Yeah.
play on the line. I'm not talking about that.
I know you're talking about the corners and safeties.
The DBs holding or whatever, and even the wide receivers getting handsy as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Which seems
here's
like
my
it's
thing.
just as much as the DBs.
Sometimes. Uh, here's my thing. When it's coming down to the end of the game, and the other team is within winning range, not tying, that type of thing. I'm down by 2 points, or I'm down by 5 points and I need a touchdown, whatever it is. I'm going into score to win the game. And that's when I believe the refs should be a little bit more lenient unless it's a blatant call. Now, if I'm on the 20 going in and it's fourth down or whatever, and my wide receiver gets hailed, i.e., like the Super Bowl, then yeah, you got to call that. You have to call it. You're impeding the process. But if it's we're both jumping up for the deal and I don't all the way get my head around, but yet I'm not really impeding you or whatever, or you stop and make me bump into you those are the ones I'm like, that's really chicken crap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But those calls and the roughing the passer calls, man, these things are getting retarded. You can't. This is not our football league from when we was kids.
You mean where somebody looks at you? He was holding.
Right. Or like when you got LT, hurting somebody and sacks the quarterback and stands over and goes, you're gonna have to do better than this, or Mike Singletary saying, I'm gonna be here all day. This is my kind of party type of thing. This isn't that NFL.
No, it isn't.
But
right.
to answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
yes, those teams did get robbed, just like the Giants got screwed on Sunday night.
Yeah, I did watch that game, and that play should have got called. Buffalo got away with one. No
Yeah, they
ifs, ands, or
did.
buts about it.
They did. But that's football. It's going to happen.
Now, I
The
wouldn't be
Chiefs are
shocked if the Giants won, but
the Giants should have won.
yeah.
But the Chiefs will have a call where they lose and the game will be like, it'll happen, but as a fan, I always wanted to know what it was like to be a Patriots fan the last 20 years.
Now you
Starting to
know.
learn.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
All right, back to the Giants. It's just a quick question.
Mhm.
Did you see enough of Tyrod Taylor to believe that he should start the rest of the way out, even if Daniel Jones is healthy?
Honestly, yes.
That's the feeling I got from it too. I mean,
Yeah, but I like Danny Dimes too. Danny Dimes has a certain set of skills that Tyrod Taylor don't. The difference that Tyrod Taylor is he is much older and wiser, but he's not as accurate.
hmm,
If Danny Dimes has a line in front of him, he can be pretty deadly. But he's
okay.
got to have that running game to work. Teddy Two Gloves doesn't need to. Or no, that's Teddy Bridgewater. My bad. Tyrod Taylor doesn't need that line as much.
Well, he knows how to get it out in less than 4 seconds. Don't hold on
Yes,
because they are coming,
yes.
and Buffalo was coming. I swear they were blitzing on just about every play.
Wouldn't you
Yeah,
play a quarterback that hasn't played all year?
I mean, I'd send everybody at him.
Hell, I'd send a blitz today.
All right, here we got some games coming up,
All
and
right,
I'd like your take on it. Uh,
sure.
Before I get to the three AFC West games, I do want to talk about San Francisco and Philadelphia because they've got some tough ones. To a lesser degree, San Francisco, they are at Minnesota, but Miami is at Philly. Who do you got in both of those?
I think Frisco can beat Minnesota without Debo and C-Mac. I think that can happen. I'm not really worried about the 49ers. That you said it's in Philly.
Yes,
That Philly defense is going to be tested. Um, I think Miami's going to win this game.
I've got Frisco and Miami as well. I mean, I I think
Here's the
that
thing, though.
Miami's going to give
This,
them enough problems. It's not going to be a huge disparity in points. They're both going to be close
mm,
games.
I think it could be a repeat of the Panthers game, 42-21.
Mm,
I think they could
wow.
win by a couple touchdowns. Here's the difference. Miami's defense is going to have to stop Hurts. Now, if Hurts is on like he was against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, where they're scoring every play and they're long, methodical drives to keep the Miami offense off the field, then, it's going to be a much closer game. But if for some reason Miami gets a couple stops, bombs over Baghdad, they're gonna jump ahead.
We'll see who they put on
Should be a
Tyreek Hill.
good game, and that's a Sunday night game, right?
I don't know. I don't have it in my
I'm
notes.
pretty sure it's the Sunday night game. Football night in
Ooh, that's
America.
going to
I'm
be a
pretty
good
sure it
one.
is. Yeah, it ought to be fun.
All right, now to the AFC West games. Vegas at the Bears. I already know where you stand. You already know where
I
I
mean,
stand.
yeah, Vegas should definitely win that game.
Hope they don't, but yeah, they should. Green Bay
Is it
at
is it at
Denver.
Chicago?
It's at Chicago.
They
Eh,
mm,
eh, I know.
I gotta go with Vegas because that Bears backup quarterback, he didn't impress me.
Hopefully, he had a better week of practice. Hopefully.
Yes, he must impress the big show.
Green Bay at Denver. How many
Oh,
different ways can Denver lose a game? That's what we're counting this year. I'm going
I,
Green Bay.
I mean, duh. Yeah, the Packers are going to win that game. But Denver's only lost a game the same way every time. It's all coaching. That's the
Yeah.
one team that you
I'm
can pick
sorry.
all coaching.
I'm sorry. The team that loses in various ways is coming right up. Chargers at Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think, obviously the Chargers and Chiefs always play close games. They're normally within a score of each other, 3 to 4 points. I'm Chiefs, obviously, I think are going to win. I'm really excited because we're getting Omenihu back on the field with our D line, so that should just only help our defense even more. Hopefully, we'll get some wideouts to stand out. Watson's gone, so maybe I'll get Rice a little bit more time on the field. So yeah, Kansas City.
There it is. You guys be sure and let us know how you feel about these picks. And email us and cuss us out if we're wrong on Sunday night. Show. Any further words of wisdom from you before we get out of here?
Yeah, don't cuss me out. I'm very sensitive. Don't cuss me out. You can disagree. We can have a conversation. We can agree to disagree.
Okay, give us a stern talking to.
There you go. Same thing as always, man. Today is always the day to do your best. Tomorrow is not promised, so be sure to tell everyone that you know your loved ones that you love them. And yeah, live every day like it's your last day. Oh,
Communicate
and
well with people.
also hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends.
Yeah, what he said. Good night, everybody.
Peace.